Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
the very next question that I had for you, sir, was about how do you, because you have spoken to many guests in your podcast. So what has been like the recurring theme that you notice that that really resonate well with your own beliefs, like as a dad,
Yeah.
what?
That's a great question because, you know, we know that I hear it. I should say I hear it all the time that
Right,
being a dad is hard. And
right,
you're right. There are challenges to being a dad, but there's challenges to be doing anything in life, right?
right.
So being a dad is challenging, but it's not hard. Being a good dad is not hard. One thing that I will say that is pretty repeated quite a bit is this thing called time. Our kids want time with us, and you have to sacrifice, as I was saying earlier, you've got to sacrifice things in your own life that are not necessarily going to do you any good to give that time to your kids. And I'll say it by saying this: kids spell love Time. That's how they spell love.
Right,
So when you're giving them time,
right,
that bond, that connection, that relationship with your kids is going to grow. And that's one thing that I took very seriously with my boys growing up. My wife and I spent a lot of time with our boys. And I'll tell you why it's important. Because there's going to come a time. Now, my boys are Blake and Brett. There's going to come a time. Blake was younger. He was into the things that I was into, right? I was this hero to him, this superhero dad to him.
right,
And then he hit teenage years. And those teenage years, he didn't want anything to do with me. He wanted to be independent. He wanted to discover who he is. He wanted to figure out his life. And he did not want to be around mom and dad. He wanted to be a grown up. He wanted to be a big boy, right?
right, right.
As a young teenager. And dads have a hard time with that, especially ones that are connected with their kids. I struggled with that, but I understood it. I did not want to push my son away by forcing him
Right.
to still have that, that time
Right.
with him.
Right.
He didn't want as much time now.
Right.
Now, I was still a coach on his team, so he saw me all the time and I was around him all the time, but I was coach, right? When he was not in sports and hanging out with friends and stuff, he did not want to hang out with me. He just didn't. And that's okay. I tolerated it because I knew what he was doing. He was trying to figure out his identity. And if I had, and what happens is once they go through that stage, you know this, having a 21-year-old, once they go through that stage of their teenage years, figuring out their identity, and they start to become a young adult or an adult, they'll slowly gravitate back towards mom and dad. They'll slowly come back in the picture.
Okay.
And that will happen as long as you developed that bond and relationship with them when they were younger and spent time with them when they were younger. I'm a firm believer in that my boys right now are two of my best friends as adults. They're two of my best friends. We go golfing together. We do activities together. They're two of my best friends. And I'm a firm believer in that is due to the fact that I spent so much time with them and built that bond and relationship with them when they were younger.
Absolutely.
And so, for people that have been on my show, I have very successful men on my show. I've had successful women on my show, but successful dads on my show, guys that are very wealthy, guys that are very high profile, but also guys that have been phenomenal dads. And they've done that through that thing called time. Because as I said earlier, Kids spell love Time. How much time are you giving them? And so, yeah,
Absolutely.
I hope I answered your
Absolutely.
question.
Absolutely. Thank you. So to like leave, so far with, with your experience, with your coaching, and as like in parenting as a dad, what is something that has left an impact on you from everything that has happened until today, in terms of coaching, in terms of you being like a great parent? What is something that has left this mark on you, just as a person?
Well, here's what I'll say. I'll say that, I want to live my life with no regrets. So when I'm in my last days and I'm about to go back home, I'm about to meet my Heavenly Father, I want to be able to look in my family's eyes and have no regrets. And this podcast, my life as a dad, my role as a husband, are my two most important roles to me. And I am, from the show, from the people that I've met, from the kids that I've helped, from the dads that I've coached, I have no regrets. And so to answer your question, my life is complete. And the dads that I coach right now, that's just another avenue that this podcast is taking me. And it's a way for me to continue to pour into others that may be struggling or maybe just need a little bit of extra help. I've always treated my life as my responsibility to live how I want to live and be the person that God wants me to be. And so I have this role in my head that I play over and over again, that I just need to be a little bit better today than I was yesterday. And if I'm just even a little bit better today than I was yesterday, and if I do that every single day, can you imagine how much better I'll be a year from now? Absolutely. If I live by that principle? So for dads that are out there, if you just work on getting a little bit better, I'm not saying you have to be this 100% gung-ho, all-in dad when you haven't been the last 10 years. I'm not saying you have to do that. All I'm saying is if you just work on getting a little bit better as a dad today than you were yesterday and do that over time, imagine the compound effect to that, right? Absolutely. How much impact that will have and how different you will be and how thankful you will be for making that small shift. And so for the dads that I help right now, I have several dads that I coach that I teach them that principle. It seems like an easy principle, right? It seems pretty basic, right? Right. But dads don't do it. They don't think about it. They just go through this mundane, routine life and they don't think about it. And that's where the disconnect is. So I teach them how to do that through activities, through even taking care of their own personal health and responsibility as far as their themselves. Because if you're not 100%, taking care of who you are, you definitely can't take care of your family. How is your family going to rely on you or trust that you'll be there for them if you're not even there for yourself? Absolutely. If you can't even take care of yourself, right? So they say that they say that old saying, just give me more money and I'll know how to take care of it. Well, if you can't take care of the $20 that you have left in your bank account right now, right, because you can't manage your money right, how are you going to be able to manage more money? That makes no sense. So you need to learn with what you have right now. And so I teach dads how to do that. So I have several dads that I coach, and my coaching is in the evening time. I do one-on-one right now. I don't do group coaching, but I do one-on-one right now. And I love it. I love it. It's just a way for me to give back. And it's a paid coaching service. So these guys pay me to help them. But I have testimonials all over the place of dads that have worked with me that have gotten a lot out of it and has changed their life as a father.
Fantastic. So for the folks that would like to get in touch with you, can you maybe tell them, the different means they can find you, sir?
Yeah. Well, I'm most active on Instagram, but I have all the platforms out there. My team handles a lot of my platforms. My team handles, but I am active on them and most active on Instagram. So I have Instagram, which is my Dad Up Podcast. That's my tag name, Dad Up Podcast. I have Facebook, which is under my name, and Dad Up Podcast as well. So I have a Facebook group, and I have a Facebook page for Dad Up Tribe, or my Dad Up group. So yeah, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, used to be Twitter, now X, which I'm not super active on Twitter. I'm not a big fan of it. I have Threads, and what else do I have? Shoot, I don't even know. I have Pinterest, I have LinkedIn, I have another one called Clapper. That they're all social media platforms, but most active on Instagram at Dad Up Podcast, all one word. Yeah, you can, if you have questions, if you're confused with anything that I said today, because I rambled a lot, but if you're confused with anything that I said today, or have questions about your parenting, or have questions about something you're struggling with, yeah, you can send me a DM and I'll respond to you. I try to respond to all my DMs, and I get a lot of them, but I try to respond to all of them. Unless it's a weird DM, then I'm not going to respond to you. But if you send me a legitimate question, or you want to talk to me or whatnot, yeah, I'm always there to help whenever I can. And my website, daduptribe.com is my website. My podcast is Dad Up Podcast, wherever you get your podcast. My YouTube channel, I have my YouTube channel. So, yeah, that's about it.
Fantastic.
There's a link tree on my bio of my Instagram. There's a link tree that has everything in there, even the interviews, the CNN interviews, my publications, everything's in there, with all my social media and stuff. So
fantastic. Really, it's been really an honor to have you here today, sir. You have shared so much information that is useful to the dads at the different levels and stages. So I truly, thank you for accepting to being on this podcast, and and inspiring other dads. This is really my goal, to make sure that dads have the different knowledges that's necessary to make them better. Whether it's the family, whether it's is their jobs. Because I think one thing that when we were speaking was about how you have this I would call it as the guiding principle for yourself, that you want, family is number one. This is a non-negotiable for if the job is not supportive, bye the job. However, there's some dads there that they don't have that option. So I think I want to people to find Dadpuzzles as well, to get ideas from the different dads with the different occupations. See how they can develop themselves outside what they're doing. Maybe there's some other ways that is better for them, so that they can create that opportunity to have the time for family. Because by creating this other job, then they can have the freedom. Because people that don't have the freedom, when they hear you say that, they will say, "What are you talking about? I have to support my my family. If I quit my job, nobody's going to eat, then I'm not going to be around." So I think people that are facing that challenge, I encourage them to listen more to us, because we will try to provide that information to them, so that they can have more opportunities outside of what they're doing. So I think maybe I'll be touching on maybe entrepreneurship, or like different opportunities as well, so that people can look into them. Like you mentioned, how little by little makes a difference. Like, for instance, you'd be amazed if somebody reads every day for half an hour on a new career, or like a new thing to do in terms of their means for them to earn the money. So if they do this 30 minutes every day, maybe in a 6 months or a year, they have something totally brand new that is probably better, that gives them more time to be there for the family. So I think I encourage dads, like Brian has said, that invest that however little time you think it is, spend that time with your kids, with your family, and also allocate the time as well to develop yourself to be better in terms of your career, etc., and your health, because we need you to be around. Because if you're not healthy, with all this money, then somebody else is going to come and teach your kids wrong things. So they have to really look at the value. So
yep, absolutely,
my friend.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for like doing this. And please reach out to dadpuzzles.com as well. The website, is dadpuzzles.com. We are also on Instagram and YouTube. But definitely give a follow to my friend Brian Ward. He's doing amazing things, so you will not be disappointed. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. It takes a village, right? So keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate you, and looking forward to growing this friendship.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I just stopped.